everybody, and welcome to episode number 12 of Diehlman at Halftime, the NBA podcast that tops all others. I'm your host, Larry Diehlman. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome aboard, and if you've been a loyal listener, welcome back. We have much to get to today and not a lot of time to do it. We have 5 sections that we'll dive into: a general overview of the NBA this week, and our usual highlight, lowlight, random stat, and game of the week. Let's go to our content for the week. There are new updates in the ongoing case of former G League player Chance Comanche of the Stockton Kings, the G League affiliate of the Sacramento Kings, and his ex-girlfriend Sakari Harnden. They are accused of murdering 23-year-old Marina Rogers. Comanche was immediately released by the Kings following his arrest. According to sources, quote, separate murder, kidnapping, and conspiracy cases will be combined so that the two can be tried together. Comanche's attorney said that his client will plead not guilty at upcoming hearings. The two conspired to lure Rogers on the pretense of prostitution. Also, according to sources, quote, Comanche said Harnden came to him about issues she had with Rogers and that other friends claimed Rogers would smoke her if Harnden did not give up a Rolex watch. So Comanche just threw away his entire career for this. Moron. We also learned that Golden State Warriors forward Draymond Green has been reinstated after his second suspension of the season, this time for 12 games. But he's missed 13 straight games as of yesterday, January 7th, against Toronto. Green has been out since mid-December after clocking Phoenix's Yusuf Nurkic. As a result, he was ordered to attend counseling and have meetings with team, league, and union officials. Green even admitted that NBA Commissioner Adam Silver talked him out of retiring because of this. Wow. We discussed earlier in the season how Green has been out of control with these suspensions, and it hurts the Warriors in general. He's the glue guy for Golden State. Green just signed a 4-year extension in the offseason, and so far he's not off to a good start. Insiders say Green will probably return in a week once he's more in game shape. This episode is entitled Brotherhood. So, who's raising eyebrows at the moment? Let's go to our highlight, the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Oklahoma City Thunder are a classic example of a team rising from the ashes and entering greatness. The Thunder are 23-11 and third in the West. After Oklahoma City traded away Russell Westbrook a few seasons ago, they went to the bottom of the Western Conference standings. Thanks to Sam Presti's great drafting, though, this is no more. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the engine of the Thunder, averaging 31.5 points, 6 rebounds, 6.4 assists, and 2.4 steals per night. Not only is Gilgeous-Alexander 4th in the league in scoring, but he's the only player in the NBA averaging more than 2 steals per game. Despite everyone thinking that Victor Wembanyama of San Antonio was going to be the runaway Rookie of the Year, Chet Holmgren has made a great case for himself. The former Gonzaga big man is averaging 17.4 points, about 7.5 rebounds, and 2.6 blocks in his first season. Remember, Holmgren was injured all of last season, so this is technically his rookie year. Josh Giddey and Jalen Williams, that is J-A-L-E-N. Remember, there's 2 Jalen Williams on the Thunder, but the J-A-L-E-N Williams are also nice options for the Thunder. Last season, Oklahoma City fell just short of the postseason. They fell in the second round of the play-in tournament to the Timberwolves. As a top seed in the West currently, they would be hosting at least 1 or 2 playoff series, depending on how far they advance. Presti is going to get a statue in Oklahoma City one day, isn't he? Their next game is tonight, Monday, January 8th at 7 o'clock. They will be in Washington to face the Wizards. Let's go to our lowlight, the Brooklyn Nets. Who else remembers when the Brooklyn Nets blew up their roster last year at the trade deadline because they were tired of the Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant nonsense? I do. Brooklyn is 16-21 and sitting in a tie for the 9th seed in the East with Chicago. Between them and the 8th seed, the Heat, there's a 5-game difference. Translation: if this gap stands, the only way the Nets will sniff the playoffs is if they win 2 games in the play-in tournament. After the Durant and Irving trades, Brooklyn has been building around former Villanova Wildcat Mikal Bridges. The 27-year-old is dropping 21.2 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 3.7 assists per game. Obviously, since Brooklyn built their starting rotation at last season's trade deadline, they weren't going to accomplish anything then. Now, they've been underachieving. I like the Nets' depth, or more like starting 5, which showcases Cam Johnson, who came over from Phoenix with Mikal Bridges, Nick Claxton, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Dorian Finney-Smith. And who could forget about Ben Simmons, even though he's barely played meaningful minutes with the Nets. Heck, the Nets were just fined $100,000 for resting players against Milwaukee on December 27th because it was the second game in a back-to-back. Look, I get it. They're picking up the pieces from the failed Big Three they experimented with. But in a top-heavy Eastern Conference, they should at least be able to make up some ground. They have a decent schedule coming up, however. Their next game is on Thursday, January 11th at 2 p.m. They will take on the Cleveland Cavaliers in Paris, France. Now let's go to our random stat. The Orlando Magic are doing something they haven't done in their franchise history: retire a jersey number. The jersey of NBA Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal, who was originally drafted by the Magic and played with them for his first 4 seasons, is going into the rafters of Kia Center, most recently Amway Center. Besides the number 6 for Bill Russell that was retired by every team, the Clippers and Raptors are now the only teams that have yet to retire a number. O'Neal is regarded as one of the best centers and overall players in NBA history. He was part of the Lakers' three-peat in the early 2000s, and he added one more ring in Miami with Dwayne Wade. Because of his contributions to the Lakers and Heat, they retired O'Neal's number as well. You think about it, though. Those are historic franchises that he's associated with. The Magic are not that old of a franchise. Their first year was the 1989-90 season. So having O'Neal become Orlando's first retired jersey is pretty cool. O'Neal's number 32 will be retired on Tuesday, February 13th when the Magic host the Thunder. There's a joke among fans how elite Orlando players end up playing for the Lakers. O'Neal did it, and so did Dwight Howard. Hopefully, Paolo Banchero doesn't get any ideas. To wrap things up, let's go to Game of the Week. For this week's Game of the Week, let's go with the Houston Rockets at Detroit Pistons. This game is on Friday, January 12th at 7:30 p.m. You might be thinking, Larry, you know the Pistons are terrible, right? But this was one of the games I said could be a possibility for this section earlier this season. We get another round of the Thompson brothers, Amen, who plays for Houston, and Asar, who plays for Detroit. In their first game against one another, Asar had 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks. Amen, meanwhile, had 12 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and the 136-113 home win. Detroit just snapped their 28-game losing streak before the start of 2024. Houston is hovering around 500. No matter the opponent or location, though, I think this brother battle is something those two circled on their calendars since the schedule came out. Give me the Rockets 124-106. Well, that's all the time we have for today. If you haven't already, make sure to follow me on social media. I have 2 Twitter accounts and 2 Instagram accounts. The podcast accounts are under @Diehlman_NBA for both Twitter and Instagram. My personal Twitter is @LarryDiehlman18 and my personal Instagram is @Mr_Sports18. They are also in the description on SoundCloud. And don't forget to spread the word about Diehlman at halftime. See you next time, fellow Hoops fans.